no idea what he's talking about. That was a statement that seemed internally contradictory. Of course, a nuclear-armed Iran is dangerous to America, to Israel, to the world. We who object to the deal object because this deal guarantees that Iran will obtain nuclear weapons in 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, and 15 years.
Harvard law professor and a major critic of the Iran deal, Alan Dershowitz, on this program earlier this week, saying our president has not done enough to ensure a nuclear-free Iran. Of course, the commander-in-chief spoke at American University on Wednesday to make the case for this agreement, but many pundits and members of Congress still question the merits of this deal ahead of votes scheduled in both houses after Labor Day. To talk more about this, we're pleased to be joined via Skype from Toms River, New Jersey, by Congressman Tom MacArthur of the Garden State. He is a member of the House Armed Services Committee, and he will be leaving for Israel this weekend, along with 36 other members of Congress, to learn all about what is transpiring in that nation. Tom, it's great to have you here on Newsmax Prime.
Thanks, JD.
Now, we just heard Alan Dershowitz say this agreement has set the path to a nuclear Iran. Do you agree with him?
Well, he's absolutely correct. And by the president's own words, we cannot afford to have a nuclear-armed Iran. And yet, within a short span of time, that's exactly where this deal will lead. And a decade in the course of human history is a blink of an eye. This is a bad deal, and it's a dangerous deal for that region and for the world.
Now, of course, the president is always saying that rejection of this agreement means war. Why does he make that statement? Is there any truth in that evaluation?
Well, I think that kind of warmongering is simply trying to get people by fear to go along with a deal that he obviously wants passed. But the alternative to this deal is a better deal, not war. We have brought, through sanctions, we have brought Iran to their economic knees. That's why they came to the table in the first place. This is a regime that hates us. They're pledged to the annihilation of our ally Israel. They didn't come out of some goodwill to the table. They came because we had broken them. And now we're capitulating, and we're basically caving into their desire to be a nuclear state by putting them on a path to nuclear arms. So the alternative here isn't war, it's a better deal that ensures that they never get what's necessary to become a nuclear threshold state.
Our relationship with Israel has become rocky, at least based on what the president has done. When you go to Israel this weekend, will you ask them just face-to-face if they're contemplating military action to keep Iran from getting the bomb if this agreement should move forward?
Well, I don't know exactly how I'll ask them what their plans are. I'll see what we face when we get there. This is certainly a fact-finding trip. It was scheduled actually before this deal, but it's very timely, and we will be meeting with the Prime Minister Netanyahu, with the President, with members of the Knesset, and I want to know how they see it. The President declares over and over that this is a good deal and it's going to increase safety, and yet both the government and the opposition in Israel are opposed to it. Our ally Saudi Arabia is opposed to it and has said that they would want to become nuclear armed if Iran is. Our others in the region, Jordan, Turkey, these nations are nervous, and rightfully so, because we are legitimizing Iran's quest for nuclear arms.
You know, we saw the Prime Minister address a joint session of Congress. That occurred back when I was serving in the House. When you think back to the arguments he marshaled, what was it, last spring in that speech, what did you come away with hearing him in that setting in that joint session of Congress?
Well, I thought he stated the case for the risk for the world quite clearly. I was very moved by that speech, and I thought he made it clear why we cannot capitulate to this regime in Iran. They brutalize their own people, and they are no friend of America. I wish they were, but they're not. They are. They chant death to America in the streets even as we speak. And to give them $150 billion of economic relief instantly before they've delivered a thing, This is an economy the size of the state of Maryland, a $400 billion economy, and we're infusing $150 billion of economic relief. That alone strengthens their hand against their own people. It gives them ability to continue to invest in fomenting unrest elsewhere, which they've been doing. There's the leading state sponsor of terrorism in the world, and they'll continue to do that in the 30-odd countries where they do it today. They'll do it with funds we've made available to them.
Congressman Tom MacArthur, we appreciate your perspective. Safe travels as you head to Israel. Come back and see us real soon. Now, you heard what Tom had to say. How do you react to that? You can email us, Facebook us, tweet us, or use our website, newsmaxtv.com/comments.